you go up to Western, and I listened for a while. It was another, kind of a spike the Jacks, all season with the turnovers and mistakes, and just you're looking for people to stand up. You're learning that, you're hoping that it kind of corrects, but it's still happening. And as a coach, I don't know, disheartening and discouraging.
It's all of that. It really is. Again, this is uncharted territory in a negative way for us, certainly. And as we continue to say, we're the only ones that can get ourselves out of what we're into right now, and we'll continue to work hard at doing just that. Western Oregon was kind of the microcosm of our season. As we had our chances, made mistakes at critical times. Uncharacteristic mistakes in some situations, but also mistakes that we've seen before. And that we've got to get it cleaned up. We've got to get it cleaned up in a way that we can play a clean game and get a win. Because our players are playing hard. They truly are. And if there's any criticism, let it be directed at me, because these kids are coming to work every single day, giving their best effort, and trying to make up for a lot of losses in terms of personnel that we have. Obviously, the team we're playing with right now is not the team we thought we'd be playing with at this point. But that being said, you still have to find a way to get the job done, and we've fallen short. So I'll accept that, and because these kids they're busting their tail for us and working hard, maybe too hard in some cases, and they're pressing and making mistakes that they normally would not be making.
Last couple of weeks, you've kind of rotated in quarterbacks. So are you at the point now where you're going to stick with one person, or will you continue?
Spencer Phillips came out of the game, played well, I thought, but came out of the game injured. And he'll be out for a couple weeks, it looks like, with a shoulder injury. Kyle Morris will start right now, and Kyle will be the guy that we'll go to at this point. Again, he's got the most experience as a starter. Certainly his athleticism is something we can utilize on the offensive side of the ball, and I know he has the confidence of his teammates. So again, Kyle will be number one, Casey Mintz will be number two, and Spencer will just see when we're able to get him back. It looks like a 1 to 2 week injury is all, so we should have him back before the season is over. We also hope to get Eric Palpal back at safety this week. He's missed the last 2 games with injury, a sprained ankle. And so that should help. Jonathan Bajet's a different story. He looks like he's going to miss another week with his knee injury. That came after he had just recovered from a shoulder injury. So we get some back, we lose others. It seems to be the way this season's gone, and will continue to go. But come Saturday and game day this week at Azusa Pacific, you put 11 out there, and those 11 got to get it done. And we'll find 11 that will go out there with every intention of winning this football game.
Getting ready for Azusa as the coaching staff, did you not really want to watch the tape when you guys played them last, or just getting ready for them? Obviously, what happened, and how do you get ready for a team like that?
Azusa's a very good football team. Let's not forget that a year ago they were on their way to an 0-7 start, okay, and then won their 4 games at the end of the season, and right now they lead the GNAC. Tied for the lead, I think it is. So a good football team with an All-American running back in Terrell Watson. He ran for over 300 yards last week. They scored 31 points in the fourth quarter. They come back and beat Simon Frazier. He broke Christian Okoye's single game rushing record. And Christian Okoye, played many years in the NFL with the Kansas City Chiefs. So again, that speaks to Watson and his talent. And they've got a number of other players that are quality players. They're right now playing with great confidence. Having dealt with their own adversity a year ago, they've been able to bring in some key pieces. And the younger players that took their lumps a year ago are now veteran players that know what it takes to win. And certainly there's a lesson for us in that as well, with us playing so many young players right now. But they're a good football team, and we'll bring a good football team here to the Redwood Bowl Saturday night. Again, we take great pride in playing at home, and we'd like nothing more than to get our first victory Saturday in front of a home crowd. And I do think we're the type of football team that if we can get that one victory, that others will follow.
For you guys on defense, how do you plan to stop the running game? Is it loading up the box? What's the game plan for that?
Well, you got to put hats on them. You got to tackle them. I mean, there's really no magic formula. Yeah, we'll make sure that we have all the gaps occupied and realize that that's what they do best. That's not the only thing they can do, but it is clearly what they do best. And they're a run first, pass second team. And so our defense approach will be to slow that run game down as best we can. Again, Watson's the best back in the conference. I think easily the best back in the conference. So that's not going to be an easy task. But we'll put a game plan together and get ready. And let's not forget, we played them the first time around. It was a 0-0 game at halftime. Again, we did a real nice job. Held them to a total of only, I think it was 270 yards. So defensively played quite well against them down at Azusa. But again, they're rolling right now in a lot of ways, and it's going to be a great test for our defense.
For you guys on offense, obviously you want to put points on the board, but what do you else do to put points on the board? What does your offense need to accomplish?
Well, we've got to take care of the football. Again, we had turnovers on Saturday up at Western Oregon at critical times. Again, we first of all, they're punting to us at the end of the first half, and it's a terrible punt. But because it's a terrible punt, it bounces short. One of our guys is engaged with a defender in blocking. It takes a bounce, a sideways bounce hits him. They get the ball on the 9-yard line and score. We get the ball back and go right down the field. Got the ball first and 10 on the 11-yard line, and throw an interception. And really, and that wasn't the quarterback's fault. Again, we had a lineman get beat, and the quarterback's having to throw with a defender right in his chest. And that's really what, as we kind of take a look at who we are, do a self-analysis, at this point, it's one guy breaking down here, it's one guy breaking down there, and they're critical breakdowns, and it's happening on both sides of the ball. And those are things we have to eliminate. It could be a missed block up front in protection. It could be a missed block on the perimeter. That's one that the player has to make. It could be a missed assignment in coverage, those type of things. And when you're not going well, those things tend to be magnified and hurt you. And that is exactly what's happening to us.
How have you seen this Azusa program progress the last couple of years? Obviously, they were the ones struggling when they first joined the conference, and now they're at the top of the standings.
They have gotten good in a very short period of time, and a number of things are happening. Number one, there's a commitment down there to be good, and they certainly are located in an area where they can recruit by bicycle. I mean, they truly can. There's such a wealth of talent within a 100-mile radius of where they're located that they have access to a lot of that talent, and so it's a combination of committing to be at the top, having a solid program top to bottom throughout athletics, and then the ability of where they're located to recruit great talent, and that's exactly what they're doing. And again, when they came into the conference, I think every coach in the conference at the time said, "Watch out, this program." Can and will be good in a hurry. They have a great tradition at Azusa, and again, they've made a significant commitment. And I think when you look at the Azusas, the Simon Frasers, I think a lot of them looked at Humboldt State, and what happened here is, what we did from 2009 through 2012, that quick turnaround, and they ended up committing in a way that has brought them, up to a very high level within this conference, and you have both those programs right now playing very, very well in Azusa Pacific and in Simon Fraser.
Yeah, Coach, injuries on the offensive line have been a big story this season. Have any guys really emerged through those injuries to give you confidence that for the end of this year and going into next season that you'll have a steady offensive line to protect the quarterback and be able to run the football?
Well, I'll tell you one that's I think a great story, and that's Josh Hansen. Josh is a true freshman out of Eureka High School that just wanted to come to Humboldt State, and I remember seeing him every Wednesday last spring because my daughter was running track, and he participated in track at Eureka. And here's this 6 foot, 6'1", 220-pound guy maybe, that was running on the 4x100 relay team and throwing and doing just a great attitude, and excited to have him join us, not with any expectations whatsoever as far as what he might be. He transformed himself over the summer with Drew Peterson's help in the weight room and all that, and has become a 250, 260-pound guy. He has started the last 2 games as a true freshman at right guard, and is clearly one of our best 5 linemen right now, and has earned the respect of every single teammate he has because of the work that he's put in to make him the player that he is. So, and there's just a true freshman, and we have so many others. We've got Lucas Govan, who's been dealing with injury. He should be coming back, but he started 2 games as a redshirt freshman for us. Jared Adams, who we moved over from defense to offense, has started all games at offensive tackle. He's just a sophomore. So, unfortunately, these players that we moved over and these young guys, they needed spring practice in many cases, and we didn't have the luxury as this all happened this season. But it does give us optimism for the future, looking ahead, that we've got some good young players in the program. We're still lacking depth. Again, we just, we've got an Alex Kappa redshirting for us. He's an offensive tackle, a 6'6" kid. We think he's got a very, very bright future. But we have very few young offensive linemen on the scout team right now. We got a couple playing on varsity and only a couple down on the scout team. So there's depth issues there that we've got to take care of.
All right. Thank you,
Okay.
Rob.